What began as typical summer rain has turned into a real disaster. In Beijing's Mune district, once a peaceful neighborhood, the scene is now unrecognizable. Floodwaters have swallowed entire streets, turning familiar places into rushing rivers. Homes, parks, and markets are submerged beneath the rising water. It wasn't just neighborhoods under threat. The Mune Reservoir, Beijing's main water source, reached critical levels. Inflow rates surpassed 8,000 cubic meters per second, a record-breaking volume that shocked even veteran hydrologists. To relieve pressure on the dam, authorities triggered emergency discharges. The powerful torrent surged downstream, raising the risk for lower-lying areas. In nearby villages, the situation was just as dire. Floodwaters swept away everything, from parked cars to backyard gardens. Vehicles floated like leaves in the muddy current. The entire residential area fell into an eerie silence. Homes lay half-submerged in water, as if life here had been swept away in the blink of an eye. The heavy rain not only caused flooding, but also severely affected many suburban areas of Beijing. Substations were submerged, and several places were completely damaged. As the floods surged in, thousands were forced to leave their homes. Evacuation centers were set up in gymnasiums, schools, and public halls. The economic losses are still being assessed. Farmlands in the outskirts of Beijing have been completely submerged, with crops almost entirely wiped out. In many areas, the precious topsoil, the foundation of local agriculture, has been washed away. For farmers, this is more than just a failed harvest. It's a loss of livelihood for months to come. More than 5,000 residents were evacuated from high-risk areas, including remote villages with limited access. Tension was visible throughout the city. In several neighborhoods, mobile networks went down unexpectedly, leaving people unable to contact loved ones. In low-lying and hillside areas, the ground could no longer hold. Rapid floodwaters swept away entire homes. In some places, entire rows of houses collapsed in a matter of minutes. Residents had just enough time to grab a few personal belongings before fleeing in panic. What remained afterward were empty plots of land, scattered bricks, and shattered memories. It wasn't just the rain. The wind howled fiercely for hours. Gale-force gusts uprooted trees and ripped off rooftops like paper. The sharp, shrieking wind was a terrifying reminder of nature's fury. Buildings trembled, windows rattled violently as wind and rain battered everything in their path. From all directions, across the city and down from the mountains, torrents of floodwater surged into major rivers. Tiny streams turned into violent torrents, merging into powerful flows that battered riverbanks and swept away debris. Water levels in key rivers rose rapidly, putting massive strain on levees and downstream communities. Residents living near the rivers began evacuating in fear of possible breaches or overflows. The raging floodwaters didn't just destroy roads, they tore down multiple bridges across the outskirts. In some places, entire bridge spans were swept away, leaving only bare concrete pillars standing in the current.